something? What is that noise? Wait. Why is this spinner wheel spinning? Ghost in the Spell. That's really weird because I'm still reading Death Whispers. Why would the Wheelhouse give me another book if I'm already reading one? And I mean, it's not coming up on here. I'm still on the other book. This is really weird. Wait, what's that? They're headphones, little earbuds. That's really interesting. Okay. Oh. It's an audiobook. The Wheelhouse just gave me an audiobook. That's really weird, but I'm not done with this one yet. How am I supposed to do both of them at the same time? Am I supposed to get a little break? Oh. And the door is open. The door opened. Does that mean I get to leave before I finish this book? So what's going to happen when I finish this one? Does it just go back to this one? This is so confusing. Very strange. Well, I guess I will listen to Ghost in the Spell by Renee George, which is the 5th book in the Grimoires of a Middle-Aged Witch series. It sounds like it's under 5 hours, so right around 4.5 hours, so that should be a fairly quick book. And then I assume it'll have me go back to this one. This is very strange. This place is just weird. I don't know if I would recommend it for a long stay, maybe for a fun little weekend if you want to just stay holed up in your room and be cozy and read. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to go listen to Ghost in the Spell by Renee George. I will see you in a little bit. Maybe I'll listen to this and hopefully it'll work as I'm taking a little walk around the premises and get a little exercise in, because I could definitely use that. And then maybe pick up some lunch, and then I will go back to reading this one as I eat my lunch. So I will see you guys hopefully in a couple of hours. So I found this cozy little spot in nature outside the hotel, and it's kind of nice. It's a little breezy, but the sunshine feels good. It feels great to be outside and not trapped in that room. But I did get some lunch and I finished Ghost in the Spell by Renee George, and that was just adorable. It was the final book in the Grimoires of Middle-Aged Witch series, and it was a great ending to the book. It kind of leaves it open if she wants to add another book to the series, but it also closes it up nicely if she decides not to add any new books. They're all on the fairly short side, but they're so much fun, and I am so glad that the Wheelhouse kind of snuck that one in for me, as Death Whispers is over 400 pages, like most of the books I'm trying to read this month. But those headphones were delightful, very comfortable, and I may have to look into getting some of those when I get home, because those were amazing. But as soon as I finished the book and put them back away and set them down, they disappeared. Crazy. This Wheelhouse is very interesting and creepy, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get back to reading Death Whispers, and we will see. Wait, do you hear that? Is that the spinner wheel again? How did it find its way out here? The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Well, I mean, that is one I've been interested in. I've heard some good things and some meh things about it, so I'm probably going to go into that one with some low expectations, but apparently they want me to listen to another audiobook along with reading my book. Apparently I'm not reading fast enough and they're trying to double up on me, so let's give that audiobook a try. There is another spot over in the area that I am interested in hanging out. Hopefully there's a bench there. I don't think there is. I may have to find a chair and bring a chair out, or a blanket and I can sit on the ground. But let me see if I can walk over there and show you. So there is this beautiful pine tree. I don't know if I could actually show you the whole tree, but it is pretty tall. And there's this nice area right over here that looks like it would be kind of fun to sit and read, and it's right outside one of the little cabins here. So I may have to bring my blanket out and come hang out here for a little while and read a bit. I will catch up with you again once I get through a little bit more of the 2 books I've got going. So Death Whispers, and apparently starting the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. See you later. It is Wednesday, October 16th. I have a little update for you and a little bit of a haul. So I am still reading Death Whispers and I am loving it. It sounds like they are 8th graders, and it's just so cute because it's like 8th grade boy talk. And the whole banter, you know, is giving each other the whole like punch on the shoulder and just kind of fun like that. And then of course Caleb finds a girl he likes and she happens to like him back, and then there's 3 of them. It's John, Jonesy, the Jays, and Caleb. And so Caleb finds a girl that he likes who is Jade. I just think it's really funny that her name is also a J so she can get lumped into the Jays. But John and Jonesy aren't quite so sure about Caleb liking a girl. So but she has an affinity that has come about already a little early. So it's kind of fun, just the banter back and forth. So it's, you know, like upper junior high speaking mentality and stuff. It's very refreshing and kind of fun because I've been reading a lot of high epic fantasies and a lot of more darker books. So this one's been kind of fun. I can tell there's some spooky stuff coming, but it's going to be more of a fun spooky. So a little bit more spoopy, somewhere between spoopy and spooky. If that's a classification, but I am really enjoying it so far. And then the Wheelhouse did give me an audiobook, and that was to read Ghost in the Spell by Renee George, which is the 5th book in the Grimoires of Middle Age Witch series, and I loved that book. So good. The whole series is just so much fun. It's snarky. You have pop culture references all over the place. You have one of her siblings just is not a sci-fi person, but she tries to be included in the family with the rest of the sci-fi people. And so she keeps mixing her characters and quotes. So she'll take a character from Star Trek, but a quote from Star Wars, or vice versa. And they're just like, no. It's just so much fun. I just had so much fun with that one. Popcorn read, the whole series, and yes, love them. And then the Spinner Wheel came up with another audiobook for me, and that is to read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So I will be starting that one very soon, but I have heard that I just need to keep my expectations really low. So basically have no expectations going into it and just see where it takes me from there. So I'm going to expect this to be not that great and just enjoy the read. And then I wanted to give a little haul. So some of my Prime items, the Prime Day deals from October 8th and 9th, I think is what it was, from last week came in, and I wanted to show you a couple of them. So one of the things that I've been using in some of my bullet journals, because Notebook Therapy bullet journals do not have a pen loop, and so I've been using these pen loops. These are ones I've had for a while. It came as a 5-pack. I mainly use them on like my devotional journals or morning pages, those notebooks, because they don't typically have pen loops either, but they're just a nice little flat square that has a sticky on the back, so you stick it to the back and then you have your pen loop. But the only problem with these, so like with the Notebook Therapy bullet journals that I used this year, is they're permanent in there. They're stuck in there. It's not like you can take it out and then re-stick it to a different notebook. So it's just always there. And I do have 2 left. So I may save those for a couple of my devotional journals that are coming up. So stay tuned to my 2025 planner lineup, which will be coming in November. But I got an 8-pack of these, and so it's an 8-pack, and so you get 2 of each of 4 different designs. I did give one to my mom because she has a planner that doesn't have a pen loop either. But these ones are really cool because they are reusable. Because you don't really need a pen loop with your journal that's just going to sit on your shelves. So it still has that nice little loop here to put your pen, but it's almost like a clip instead. So kind of like a paper clip. So you clip this to the back of your journal, and then you have your pen loop, and then you can, at the end, you take it out and you move it into your next journal. So these ones are reusable, and I will never have to buy any more again, which is amazing. Love it. And they come in this black and silver. They also come with brown and gold, and also the brown and silver. And then they come with kind of a antiqued or rustic looking brown and kind of a bronze color. So I'm very excited to use these. And I will leave all these things linked down below in case you want to check them out. I don't think these ones are still available, at least not from the seller I got them from. I didn't still see them on there, but if I can find them, I'll leave them linked. If not, I'll just link these ones. But something I've had in my cart for a while, and it's just too expensive, and I was like, no, I can just deal with what I have for now. But the earbuds I was using, I would show them to you, but my husband's actually using them right now. He went on a little trip, and his cell phone does not have a jack for headphones. He can only use Bluetooth headphones, and his died, and so he's using mine. So I don't have those ones to show you. But on the left earbud, the top of it is separating from the bottom of it. So that's not very helpful. And they just keep popping out of my ears. So traditional earbuds, my ear canal is so small that I even got small ones that are made for women with small ear canals, and they came with like 8 different sizes, and like 3 of them are okay. The other 5 don't even fit in my ears. They're too big. But even the smallest one, all of a sudden my ear will just pop it out. It just falls on the floor, and I'm just like, oh. I'm like, when it happens like 4 times in like 20 minutes, it's very frustrating. So I was looking at some of the open earbuds and the bone conducting earbuds, and I did get a pair of the open earbuds, and they fit okay, but they were kind of cheap ones. They were like $25, $30 or something, and the connectivity with the Bluetooth just wasn't happening. Like, I had to reconnect 3 times in 20 minutes, and I'm like, no, that's definitely not worth it. That's just more frustration than anything else. I'd rather just use a plugged in wired headphone for that, if that's gonna happen. But I knew that Bose had some open earbuds that were like $300, and that's just, I can't even imagine. Like, I think the most I've spent on earbuds or something like that is maybe $50, and even those were kind of that's the ones I'm using now. I think those were 40, 45. I think I got them on sale. They were like $40. But, and then we had the Prime Day deals, and I had like over $250 in rewards saved up that I was going to use to get another set of silk sheets for our bed, because that's what I used last time to get the original ones, because silk sheets are really expensive, but they are amazing if you can find them. Not satin. They have to be actual silk. The satin ones are still really noisy. The silk ones are not. They're so quiet, and they're so good for your hair and your skin. Just, yeah. So you can find them. But anyway, back to headphones. I found a pair of the Bose earbuds that were on sale for $268. Well, they originally were $301, and they came with a little wireless charger. I don't really use wireless chargers at all, so I don't think I really needed that, but they were on sale for $268. And the headphones without the wireless chargers were like $260. So I'm like, well, for $8 more, I might as well just get the wireless charger as well. So here's the wireless charger. I got that. And then I got the Bose open ear earbuds, and these have been amazing. Like, I can barely tell I have them in. This side a little bit more. As you can tell, I have a lot of earrings on this side, and sometimes it'll go over the top of this first one, so I have to be a little careful about where I put it, but it's not painful at all. It sits there fine. It's just a little more uncomfortable. I can feel it a little bit more. And it's so great. So they come in this cute little case, and there's a button back here that you can use to press to connect to new Bluetooth devices. And then it shows here, there's a little dot that shows if it's charging or if it's already charged up. And you just pop one out like this, and I can do it one-handed. See, I just put one finger in the middle here, and then put them on like that. And they're so comfortable, so easy to use. So they have a button on the top, so it is a push button. My other one was a touch one, which was great, except if you're wearing gloves or anything like that, then that doesn't really work. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm like constantly like going like this, trying to like turn off or whatever. Where with these, you just push the button and it's good to go. So the button is actually on the back here at the top. So the little barrel goes behind your ear, and then this part goes into the middle here, and so it doesn't actually go into your ear canal, and it just sits like this. And they are so comfortable, and you can move them this way or this way up, and you know, you can angle them a little bit more to find the fit that feels comfortable for you. And I can wear these all day and not even realize that I have them on. Sometimes if I'm sitting next to my husband, he can kind of hear that, but he can't really like hear what's happening with them unless I have them up really loud, which then that would hurt my ears too, and I wouldn't want them that loud. But I've been able to have my husband watching TV, and I'm in the kitchen. It's all one big room, like a big great room, and I can still hear what's going on while he's watching whatever on TV, which is great. And this works with my phone and on my laptop. I can have them paired to both without having to disconnect. It connects depending on which Bluetooth is turned on. So if I turn the Bluetooth on my phone, it'll connect to my phone, and then I can go straight to turn that off, go straight to my computer, and it'll connect straight to my computer. You don't have to worry about having your phone forget about the earbuds and then you can use it on your computer. I know some of them will only connect to the one device. These connect to multiple, which is amazing. My other headphones also did that, so that's not necessarily something new for me, but I know a lot of headphones will only do one at a time, so that is a huge bonus for the Bose. There's a whole lot of features on here that I'm never going to use because I don't really listen to music with my headphones. I pretty much only listen to audiobooks or YouTube videos, podcasts, things like that. If I'm just going to be listening to something, it's going to be an audiobook because that's the only way I can keep up with my TBRs. I pretty much have audiobooks on all the time if I'm not physically reading something. These have been a game changer for me. They are so comfortable. They don't have to go into my ear canal, and they're so easy to take on and off. It's just one hand. So nice. And I can share these with my husband because there's no like earwax involved or any of that kind of stuff, and so they're just so nice. I would highly recommend the Bose open ear earbuds. So very long-winded pitch about how much I love these Bose headphones. They're amazing. I have been using these for just over a week, and I have not had to recharge the case yet. Every time you put the earbuds into the case, they start charging on their own, but I haven't had to recharge the case itself yet. So that is pretty awesome. And I've finished quite a few audiobooks since I got these. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. And I think that's all I got for you right now. I have rehearsal this afternoon. And I think that's it. Bye. Today is Thursday, October 17th, and I want to pop in really quick to go over a couple of books that I finished, and I have an unboxing. So exciting! And today is kind of one of those days where I don't have to leave the house. And I'm just doing chores, so I've got my kind of grubbies on and having a nice time just piddling around the house. And I do have the windows open, so hopefully there's not a lot of street noise that comes through. But let's go over just a couple things here. So I did start Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal, and I am on chapter 2. So not too far into it, but definitely enjoying it so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the chapters bring. And I am also continuing with Death Whispers. I'm on page 197 and there's 400, right around 400 pages in the book. So I'm on chapter 19 and things are starting to get interesting. We're kind of at the day before the testing to see what kind of paranormal gifts they have. We'll find out for sure the extent of Caleb's AFTD. So if he's, what level he's at. So there's a level kind of 1 to 5. 5 is like off the charts and 1 is just like, we have 1 gift and that's about it. So there's, you can talk to the dead, you can, you're a corpse raiser or a corpse manipulator. You can find murdered victims, and there's some other things that go along with that. So kind of interesting. And it's reading really fast. Like I can read close to 70 pages of that in a day, which is pretty good because that's usually not my reading speed. I usually read much slower. And then I also finished the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, and let's just say the first third of the book, I was really enjoying it, I was really getting into it, and then it got really gross, and then it kind of kept moving along, and it was okay, and then it was kind of ugh again, and then it was okay, and then it was like, it's kind of over the top, and then it just ended fine. So, 3 stars. It wasn't awful. But it wasn't amazing either, so 3 stars. It was entertaining enough. But the main thing I want to do is I got my next subscription box of The Broken Binding, and I'm super excited about this one. I already know what's in here, but I am looking forward to seeing what it looks like. So this is actually a 3-book series, but the last book, with everything they did to it, was going to be too large for just 1 book, so they split the book into 2. So we're actually going to be getting a book for 4 months. Usually they do like a trilogy, so you get 1 book per month for 3 months, and then that's it. So they're going to do 4. So this is for October, November, December, and January, and then next year they'll do a duology. That's a February, March one, kind of to make up the difference for it. So let's see what we got. Ooh, this one's a chunky boy all on its own. But it is Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series, and I love this bookmark. That is beautiful. So it's the Dragon Bone Chair, and this is the October book for the fantasy subscription. I believe they also have a sci-fi subscription, and they also had a Halloween box, which was kind of interesting. And it says, books are a form of magic because they span time and distance more surely than any spell or charm. Do you like the hilt of the sword here? And little flowers. It's kind of fun. All right, let's get into the book. I just find it easier to take the tape off. It comes right off. So the Dragon Bone Chair. That is gorgeous. And this is by Tad Williams, and it's the first book in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series. We've got the black sprayed edges on both sides, and ooh, I love that. It's just simple, just the sword, but the detailing on that. I love the gradation all in here and in here. That is stunning. Let's see if I can get some light in here a little better for you to see that. So beautiful. And the back. That's an owl and a steer, maybe? Honor is a wonderful thing, but it is a means, not an end. A man who starves with honor does not help his family. A king who falls on his sword with honor does not save his kingdom. Interesting. All right, let's get the dust jacket off. Ooh, I like that. It's kind of like that purpley blue. Like, is it purple? Is it blue? Is it purple? Is it blue? That kind of color? That is stunning, and I love the foiling. It's so shiny. The Dragon Bone Chair, and it does have number 1, so you know this is the first book in this series, which I love that. And then the back is that sword hilt again. I love all this the detailed border all around. Oh, that's stunning. I love this sprayed edge. I don't know, I just love the simplicity of it, but it just really like stands out, and yeah, I love that. Okay, end papers. And then the back, ooh, battle scene. What is happening over here? And what is that creature? Is that like some kind of troll or something? Who is this dude? Ooh. Those like spectral horses or something? Interesting. Makes me think of like the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. Ooh, I'm very excited. I don't really know a whole lot about this book. I've heard a lot about the book and the series, but not necessarily what it's about. I've heard a lot of people say how much they like it and all of that, but I don't know what it's actually about. Ooh, we have a map. We also have an author's warning in here, which is kind of fun. It's related to the story. There's a forward, and then we have part 1. Ooh, I do like there's more maps in here, which is pretty cool. The grasshopper and the king. We also have a ribbon bookmark, which I do like, so you never have to worry about misplacing your bookmark because there's one in the book. We have a guide to pronunciation, which is always helpful, especially if you don't have an audiobook at all. So the appendix, so that includes like the people, the creatures, the pronunciation guide, all of that. It's always very fun. Ooh, goodness. So if the first book is 934 pages, I understand why the last book would be too big to make just one book out of. How long are each of the books in this series? Are they all this long? That's crazy. But I love super long books, like a 500 to 700 page fantasy book. That's my sweet spot. I love them. I like shorter books, palette cleansers in the middle, but I do like some just real long, high epic fantasies, kind of along the lines of the Dandelion Dynasty. So how does this book measure up? It's about the same length as the last book in that series. But I'm very excited to get to read this one because this is another one that sounds like it's going to be right up my alley just from the other people who have liked it. I tend to trust their opinion and have liked most of the same books that they do. So we have a picture of Tad Williams here as well. Try not to get the glare on there. And let's see, really tiny little print. That print is just too tiny for my tired little eyes, so I got myself a little magnifying glass. Let's see what it says down here. So we have the cover art is by Jeff Brown, as well as the typography. The end paper art is by Mark Simonetti and Christopher Cant, and the interior artwork is Raphael Pina. The foil design is by Rachel Sinclair, so that would be that. And then of course the art direction is by Patrick Leo, and the author photograph is by Deborah Beale. So that's that one. And the interior art, I'm assuming, is the maps, because I didn't see any other artwork in here besides the couple of maps that are in here. So yes, the artist did a fabulous job. Like, that is just stunning. I love that. And we've got like a flag with a house crest in there. Beautiful. Can't wait to read this one. And if you have read the Dragonbone Chair or any of the other in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorns series by Tad Williams, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. I am gonna have to rethink some of my shelves here a little bit. Now, I did do some decorating. I have my little fall pumpkin here. And then my mother-in-law makes these really cute little spiders. They're so adorable. I love those. But my absolute favorite thing, well, my absolute favorite things are the Christmas rats she made me. They're stocking holders, and I will show you that when Christmas comes along. I probably had them in a video last year, but I love my little Halloween raven crow. It is so cute. Trick-or-treating, and the little candy corn dress is just adorable. And the little like pumpkin pantaloons. This is just too adorable, and even has like the little eyeballs and everything. It's just so cute. So this is my little Halloween crow. I think what I'm going to need to do is try and combine my two classics shelves over here. Show you this way a little bit. Try and see if I can combine these. And then I can put more of my Fancy Pants books on this side. Because you really only see these 4 shelves here, so I want those to be my pretty books, and then the ugly books can go, you know, well, not ugly, but the plain books can go up there with the rest of those. So I do have a lot of series way at the top up here. So I have like my Harry Potter and the Land of Stories and some of those, and then I have like my Jeanette Oak books over on this side on the top shelf, but then I just have some random stuff here. These books are all ones that I have not read yet or still need to get to, and then all of my fancy ones. And then down below for the bottom couple shelves I have like cookbooks and some magazines still and some of that kind of stuff, so I may be able to combine some of those around. So I'm gonna have to play with my shelves a little bit and see what I can do to make some of this fit. I could also, instead of having the books that I haven't read yet that are up on this shelf, I could probably move some of those to my TBR cart and then move some other books that are some of my classics I could put up here. That's another option. See how many of these ones I've actually read. So I've not read Camilla yet. Ooh. You will have probably just seen my year-long Horror Readathon TBR, because that'll come up before this one. But for the classics, like a horror classic, I can read this one because it came out before 1950, I'm pretty sure. Let's give it a double check. And this is one of my favorite movies. I love Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly. The copyright of this edition is 1984, but that I don't think is the original edition, but it doesn't say on here. I will have to look and see, because this might work for that, and that would be amazing, because I do want to read that. I also have a book about Mary Shelley's life, which maybe that could work too. But so far, I haven't really read many of these on this shelf. Okay, yeah, I haven't read any on that shelf. I know I have read some on this shelf, though. So I've read all of these. So I have read The Phantom of the Opera. I just recently, this year, I read The Picture of Dorian Gray graphic novel and The Wuthering Heights graphic novel. So I can move those. I can turn my poems this way. Pollyanna, I'm pretty sure I read as a kid, but I want to reread it just because, so I'll leave that here. Gone with the Wind, I definitely have read that one, and this is my great-grandmother's edition, which is so much fun, and it has pictures from the movie in it as well, which is pretty cool. But I have read that one, so I can move that one over. The Last of the Mohicans, I've definitely read. I love this book. This was one of my favorite books in high school and college. Christmas Carol, definitely read this one multiple times. And I actually have a couple of different editions of it. Pippi Longstocking, I definitely read as a kid. That one was fun. Let's see, I don't think I've read Robinson Crusoe. I have seen the movie, but I don't think I've read the book. I did read Women in White. I loved that one. Mrs. Dalloway and Middlemarch I have read. Madame Bovary I have read. And I have read Sense and Sensibility, but this is the annotated version. So it looks like it's just a bunch of footnotes and pictures and things like that, which is kind of interesting. So I haven't read this edition yet. That's the annotated one, and that sounds kind of interesting. So I'm going to keep this one over here as well. But I may move it up to the top shelf. So that leaves only 4 books on that shelf. So I wonder how many of those I can swap with these. Let's see what we can do. May need to move my chair though. May need to move some of my fun little Star Wars ornaments. Put those someplace else. Just so I have enough room for everything in here. May have to leave this one over here. I do also have a cute little Emily Dickinson poems that my sister got me. Which is kind of fun. It's got some illustrations in there too. I have not read that one either. I have just a lot of like little kitschy things in here. I don't know if I really need to keep all of them. My little squishy hamburger. So some of those actually fit on top of my books that are the series up top, so it doesn't take up a lot of space because they're box sets, so they actually come in a box and they can sit right on top of that. Okay, so that leaves me quite a bit of room on this shelf. I have a peppermint candle, which smells amazing. And I have my crow, but this one can sit in front of the book, so my Miss Crow here can go wherever. I would love it if she could just sit on the back of my chair like that. That would be so cute. Okay, let's see if I can fit any more up here. So I do still have my 6 of Crows. That's going to go here next to Crooked Kingdom, but I'm reading that right now, so it's on my TBR cart. Here we go. Now you can see a little better. My hair was just hanging all over the camera and you couldn't see the shelf. So I do have 6 of Crows that goes here, but I'm currently reading that right now. I'm actually listening to an audiobook with my mom, so when we go to the grocery store on Mondays, we're listening it to and from there. So that's going to take me the whole month, probably even longer, to listen to it if I listen to it with her. I may skip ahead and finish the book, but then re-listen to it as we still do our shopping and all of that. But that one will go there. And then I have a Fatemarked, but then I do have quite a bit of space here that I can put the Dragon Bone chair. So I moved my Atlas series. I have the first 2 books in the series. I moved that over here with my classics. And I may move my Sword of Kaigen over there as well, because I have read that and it's not one of the special editions, and just save this as my special editions shelf, because I don't necessarily need all of my Sword of Kaigens together, but I also need room for the new Sword of Kaigen that's going to be coming, because yes, I am super extra and I do have 3 special editions. But that one's not done yet, so we just got our surveys for that one from the Kickstarter project. Okay, so Sword of Kaigen over there, so I will have room for that one. But this one is going to be the 4-book series, so that one will end up taking that whole space. So I will need to find a place. I'll probably have to move Crooked Kingdom over here as well by the Sword of Kaigen. But for now, well, actually I can move A Day of Fallen Night and the Priory of the Orange Tree over there, because they are not special editions either, although I do still need to read A Day of Fallen Night. But these are just the regular editions. I think I'm going to do that. Let's move these over here. Although the dust jackets are stunning just on their own. So on this side, I moved most of my classics here, and then I have the rest of them on this side. I added Day of Fallen Night, Priory of the Orange Tree, my Sword of Kaigen, and my Atlas books here. And then I also have Neon Ghosts that I need to put back on my shelves, probably over on this other side. Although it does have kind of just basic sprayed edges, so I may put that over by Atlas Paradox. But I still need to do my wrap up for that one, so it's still sitting on my TBR cart. I'm a little behind with my reviews. Yeah, I'm thinking in November I need to read a lot less books and just catch up on everything else that I'm behind on. So then I have my Sword of Kaigen's Mother of Learning, which I do still have 3 more of those coming. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then I have my Page and Wick special editions. I have When the Sword Falls Silent, the Greenbone Saga here, Liza Black Lamora over here, or the Gentleman Bastard series, that's what it is over here. And then I have the Dandelion Dynasty, Dragon Mage, Fatemarked, and then the Six of Crows duology here, and then the Dragonbone chair. So once I get all of those in, I will turn them like this most likely, so we can see the beautiful sprayed edges. And then we'll go from there to see about space. So I'm actually really excited to be filling up my shelves. It's starting to get a little pricey. I need to slow down on some of these. I'm really liking the Broken Binding subscription box, so I will definitely keep that at least for a little while longer. And then I need to do a little better about not supporting quite so many Kickstarters, but I am supporting the Fatemarked Kickstarter to get the 5-book series, and if he does one for Kingfall and for Sworn, then I will definitely get those too, because David Estes is an auto-buy author for me, as well as The Bound and the Broken by Ryan Cahill. He is another auto-buy author for me, which is also why I got Unavowed, which is another Kickstarter. I will leave all of those linked down below. Although by the time this goes up, I think the Unavowed one will be done, but the Fatemarked one should still be going if you wanted to participate in that one. But yeah, I need to not look at any other Kickstarters for a while, because my pocketbook is definitely feeling it. But I need to get back to editing and filming some more for the vlog, because I did finish another book, and so I need to do another spinner wheel. But that may wait until tomorrow. My husband gets back from his conference tonight, so super excited, but I will be staying up late, and I have a somewhat early appointment tomorrow that I need to be at, so I may do some extra filming tomorrow afternoon when I get back from that, and do lunch and all of that fun stuff. And being at the, what did I say, today's the 17th, right? Yeah, the 17th. I am predicting I will not finish my TBR-opoly TBR. My priority this month is my 13 spooky reads, and if I can combine that with some of the other ones, that's great, but I am not going to prioritize my TBR-opoly TBR, which means I will get a punishment, but that's okay. And I will probably do less rolls in November for TBR-opoly to kind of balance some things out, because December is going to be a much heavier reading month with a lot of stuff going on. We'll have the Merry Bookmas is coming again with completelymelanie, and then we also have Lightfall with the Magical Readathon from G at Book Roast, and those are always super fun, and I have to participate in those because they are amazing and I love them. Yeah, there is one readathon that I would like to participate in because I did it last year and it's so much fun, but we'll see. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with all of my backlog that I need to get to, so I may or may not participate in that one. We'll see. And that is Tomes and Treasures with The Creepy Geek, and I will leave the announcement video link down below in case you do want to participate. And that's all I got for you today. Played ball with Walter. I did some chores around the house, like I washed all the sheets and got those all put away, and I do need to make some cinnamon rolls because my hubby loves cinnamon rolls, and I would like to have those ready to bake in the morning for him as a little treat for coming back home safely. And I need to prep all of Walter's food for the next week as well. I got started on a little bit today, and I will finish the rest of it tomorrow. All right, that's all I got. I'm gonna get back to work. Bye. See you tomorrow. I finished the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and that was an interesting book. It had a whole lot of creepy crawlies, just the ick factor. So I got that done. Let's see what Wheelhouse has in store for us next. Oh wait, well, here we go. Loftus, The Hall of Dreams by Helena B. Scott. I believe this is a story of a haunted house with some ghosts that I think it's kind of described as like historical realism. So it's not quite a nonfiction, but they take a nonfiction story and create a story around that. It sounds interesting, and it is an actual castle in Ireland. I also finished Death Whispers and by Tamara Rose Blodgett, and this is the first book in the Death series, volume 1, and this was really cute. So it's a YA story with a young gentleman that is an AFTD, and you have different levels from like 1 to 5 on the different things that you can do as a corpse raiser. Can you speak to the dead? Can you raise the dead? Can you control them? And a whole bunch of other things. It's kind of interesting. So it's a bunch of teenagers that they're at that point in their life when they're kind of 8th graders. So when they go from 8th grade into 9th grade, this paranormal abilities test determines what high school they will be going to. And so this is the story of that, and also a couple of bully kids and your 3 main kids, which are Caleb, John, and Jonesies, the Jays, and them meeting some other kids that may end up kind of joining their group of friends, which is just fun. It's a bunch of 8th graders just talking smack and having fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I will definitely be continuing the series when I get home if I can find it. Alright, so I finished the audiobook and the ebook that the Wheelhouse gave me. I'm hoping that this doesn't mean I have to finish them both on the same day to get out of the room. So far, I feel like Wheelhouse has been fairly nice to me. I've heard some stories from some other people that are staying here that they were stuck in their room for almost a week. Pretty scary. And I did hear that you are stuck in your room for that long, you can order some room service, but it's a very limited menu. You pretty much get coffee or water, and you can get like, what did they say? Some kind of weird sandwich. It's like a peanut butter and banana sandwich with pickles or something. Just enough of something to sustain you pretty much, and that does not sound good. I do not want pickles on my banana and peanut butter sandwich because that sounds really gross. So I'm gonna do my best to keep reading, and I haven't heard what happens if you don't read all the books before you're supposed to leave. Does that mean you get stuck here? Are we stuck in some kind of time loop? Like no matter when we finish, it'll be the day we're supposed to check out? Because that would be interesting. I may have to ask some of the other guests when I go out for lunch, since I did finish my books. We'll see how long some of them have been here, or how long some of them think that. Maybe I will ask them when they checked in and when they're supposed to check out and see what happens. Might be kind of interesting. Oh, I guess Wheelhouse has the next book ready for me. What is it gonna be? Blood Hunter by Morgan Quaid, and this is the first book in the Petra Graves Chronicles, a Seven Hungers novel. I don't know. We'll see what happens. She doesn't look like someone I would want to meet in a dark alley. She looks pretty tough. All right, let's see how these books go. Wow, I actually finished Loftus Hall. It wasn't very long. It was like 299 pages. The audiobook wasn't very long, and I was able to listen to it fairly quickly. And now that I finished Loftus, I need to find out if the Wheelhouse is going to give me another audiobook, or if they are going to let me be and just read the ebook that they gave me. What do you guys think is going to happen? I am getting kind of tired though, and I would like to get a little more sleep, but we have 4 books left to go. 3 books after this one. Cthulhu's Children by J.E. Murphy. I think we're starting to get spookier books as the weeks go by. We're getting close to the end though. We have about 10 days left in the month and 4 books left to go. So we'll see how quickly I can get through Blood Hunter and Cthulhu's Children. So Blood Hunter is under 300 pages and Cthulhu's Children is over 400 pages. We'll see how it goes. Looks like there's still quite a few books left on the spinner wheel. All right, welcome to Monday, the 21st. I didn't really vlog a whole lot over the weekend at all. It was kind of a busy weekend. It was nice to have the hubby back. And we did do a 2-mile hike. We didn't do anything too interesting. We just walked around this big loop that's kind of around our neighborhood. We do live in a somewhat foresty-ish area, sort of like most people have pine trees and things like that in their yards, and it's really nice. It was a really nice hike. I say hike because there are a ton of hills around our house. No matter which direction we go, there's a lot of up and then kind of gradual and then up and then gradual and then we go way down and then back up, and so there was a lot of hiking up and down hills going on. So I did get that done. That's good. I still need to work on my house project. My husband actually ended up pretty much finishing up the moving of the rock, so I didn't need to help with that. But I do need to get started on the last Adirondack chair and the side table and the stool for it, and I have not started that yet, so I do need to start that this week. Otherwise, I will need to figure out another house project, which, I mean, there are a couple other things we need to do. We need to switch out our summer for our winter clothing because it's starting to get chilly. We do have a couple more days coming up in the 80s, in the low 80s, but otherwise it's been between the 50s and 60s lately, so it's been pretty chilly. I think it got down to 35 one night, so it was so nice. It's nice to just have that scent, that fall scent in the air. And one morning I woke up and I came upstairs and looked out the windows and everything was just so foggy. It's pretty much, we were all in a cloud. Oh, it was beautiful, and I do have some pictures here that I took to share with you. We also had a really cool visitor come to hang out on our little balcony for a little while. I was surprised how long it stayed there. I'm assuming it's a falcon. We do have a lot of, was it the peregrine falcons? We do have some falcons, some hawks in the area, and it was just so much fun. Yeah, I was sitting at my desk and my desk looks out on our little balcony deck thing off our upstairs, and I just was like, wait, something big just swooped in. Is that just a raven? Because we have a lot of really big ravens, but no, it's this falcon. So beautiful. If you know for sure what it is, let me know now in the comments. I'm just going to call it a falcon because I'm not exactly sure what kind of bird it is. Let's do a quick recap of what I've been reading, how I'm doing, and all of that. I did finish The Professor, and I did really like that. I think I talked about that in the last update. And I also finished A New Spring, which is the prequel novella. Yeah, I'm going to call it a novella. It's a whole lot shorter than all the other books in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, and I really enjoyed that. It follows Moraine and Suan as they become accepted and move up the ranks and start looking for the Dragon Reborn. And we also get to find out how Moraine and Lan get to know each other and how he becomes her warder, which I thought was amazing because he is one of my favorite characters in the entire series, and I wish he was in it a little bit more. But we'll see, because I'm still not done. I still have 5 books left. I think I have 5 books left in the series to finish. And then I also finished Ghost in the Spell by Renee George, and I absolutely love that series. It is amazing. It is so much fun, so cute. If you are feeling just kind of meh and you need a pick-me-up, these are great books for that. And I think I talked about it already, but I finished the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I am still reading Six of Crows, and this one I started the audiobook with my mom, so I will probably, once I finish a bunch of my other stuff, I'll come back to this one. But I want to keep reading it with my mom because my mom really liked it, and so if she wants to continue with the audiobook, I want to kind of save this one to last so we can do that. And she was out of town visiting friends today, which is when we normally listen to it, so I didn't get any further on this one, and we basically only read the first chapter. I am still reading Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal, and I did make a little bit more progress, but I still have quite a ways to go. But I'm going to be focusing on this one a little bit more now that I finished some of my other books. And then I also finished The Tyrant's Tomb, and I had no idea there are zombies in this book. So this was the perfect month to read it because there's zombies. Who knew? So The Tyrant's Tomb is the 4th book in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan, and it was really good. I am definitely liking this series more now. The first couple of books were good, but not great, and I feel like the last couple have kind of stepped up just a little bit, and I am looking forward to reading the 5th and final book in the series. I did finish Death Whispers today, which is the first book in the Death series, Volume 1 by Tamara Rose Blodgett, and I loved this one. I gave you somewhat of an update in the Wheelhouse little clip, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so much fun. If you like more spoopy than spooky, this one is right up your alley, and it's super cute. It's basically a YA book, but for the younger side of YA, but I think any age would probably enjoy it. It was definitely a good switch from Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And then I also read Loftus, The Hall of Dreams by Helena B. Scott, and this one is Behind the Myth of Ireland's Most Haunted House. And this one was really interesting. It's sort of a nonfiction book, but with a story to go along with it. So you're reading it through the ghost's perspective, one of the ghost's perspective, and he is watching as Helena B. Scott is researching Loftus House and trying to relay the story to her through things that he can do, like maybe drop a specific book on the floor or things like that, kind of point her in the right direction to learn more. And the photography in this is wonderful. It adds just a nice extra dimension to the story, and I wouldn't say this one's scary at all. It is about a haunted house, but it does have some of that chill factor, like when you just kind of get some goosebumps in certain sections, but it's not scary at all. It is well written and is also very easy to read. And now the next book that the Wheelhouse has given me is Blood Hunter, and this one is by Morgan Quaid, and it's the first book in the Petra Graves Chronicles, and it is a Seven Hungers novel. We'll see what this one is going to be about, and she looks pretty darn tough. I don't know, she's kind of scary. I'm not exactly sure what this one is. Again, I go into most of my books blind, so we'll see. And while I am reading that one, I am also listening to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I was going to save this one to the end, but this one is part of the Library of Dragons Readathon, a Spookoplathon, and on my TBR. So this one would kill 3 birds with 1 stone. So I'm going with this one. I am up to chapter 7, and this is, for those of you who don't know, it's the ACOTAR series, book 1 by Sarah J. Maas. And the first chapter, I was like, I'm bored already, but it's getting a little more interesting now. So I am enjoying it, and I look forward to seeing how everything unravels and what the hype is all about around this series. So I am liking this kind of layout for the books read. So the orange are the days that I started the book, and the dark gray are the days that I finished the book. It's not going as fast as I was hoping, but we're getting there. So my TBR is not looking too bad. So this one is for my house projects that I've not done yet. And then Six Crows Progress, which is not much. This one is Death Whispers, which I just finished, so that one's done. And then we have Blood Hunter. Luckily, that one is on my TBR, though my spinner wheel has been kind of nice to me, actually. And then we have Court of Thorns and Roses, so both of those I am starting today. And then the last one is Cthulhu's Children, which I do need to start soon. That one's over 400 pages. But as you saw, the Wheelhouse just gave me that one as well, so I can listen to that one as an audiobook, along with A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I'll probably listen to one in the morning, afternoon, and the other one I'll listen to kind of in the evening and nighttime. I should probably listen to ACOTAR at night. It's probably less scary. Cthulhu's Children is kind of, yeah, I'm a little nervous about that one because it seems like it's going to be on the scarier side. For book clubs, I still need to finish Feel Good Productivity. I did finish my Wheel of Time and Discworld book clubs, which is good, and the Game of Tones, because that one was Jonathan Strange, Mr. Norrell, which I read last month. For Spookoplathon, all I have left over here is A Court of Thorns and Roses. The rest of them I have finished, which is amazing. 13 spooky reads. I'm up to the 9th and 10th books, which are going to be Blood Hunter and Cthulhu's Children. I've finished 8 so far, but I may cheat a little depending on how things go this next week. I did read Something is Killing the Children, which is a horror graphic novel, which I can add to that, although it's not on my spinner wheel. So if I don't quite complete all of them, I may throw that one in there just because. And I really want to read Autumn Antics because that one looks so cute and they're kind of short. I really hope I can fit those ones in too. For my readathons over here, so at top we have Library of Dragons. So Dragons Hoard, gold or silver on the cover. Not this copy, but the audiobook copy has the title is in yellow. So that's my gold. So Court of Thorns and Roses, what I'm using for that. For Closing Shift, final page ends on a 3 or a 5. That was Gunmetal Gods because it was 475 pages, and I did finish that one. Apothecary Shopkeeper features witches, wizards, or medicine, and for that one I used Ghost in the Spell by Renee George because she is a witch. And then and there's also healing magic in there. And then for Librarian/Scribe, read a book about a book. And for that one, I did read Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I read that for the Magical Readathon. And she said, if you read a book about a book for the Magical Readathon, you can use it for this one. So I'm counting that one because I don't think I will get to Echo of Old Books. But we'll see. And then for Buzzwordathon, Relationships, Something is Killing the Children by James Tinian IV is the one that I read, and that was volume 1. And then for Adventures in Aldea, I had House as a main setting or character, and I read Loftus, The Hall of Dreams. And then for Karasu's Prompt, currently popular book, and when I was picking them, I had just seen a whole bunch of videos of people wanting to read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, so I did read that one. So I'm doing really good on my readathon. So as soon as I finish A Court of Thorns and Roses, I will have finished all of my readathons except for my 13 spooky reads. And I still have quite a few books on that spinner wheel, so we'll see what Wheelhouse will have in store for this next week. So I will probably close out this vlog here, and then I will have the final 9 days on another vlog that will most likely come out in the beginning of November. I'm not planning on doing Vlogmas, but I do want to try and add one video a week. So I would do Monday, Thursday, and Saturday every week for December. So that would give an extra 4 videos for that month. So we'll see how that goes. That's my plan for now. So with that, I'm going to close this up and say thank you so much for joining me on this Wheelhouse journey and my fun spooky reads that I've been having. None of them have really been that scary, but we'll just say some horror books this month, which have been super fun and interesting. And I'm hoping to get a few more onto my year-long Horror Readathon put together by Wicked Reading. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I will leave that linked up in the cards above and in the description box down below if you want to check it out. So thank you so much to Wicked Reading for putting that together, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping to check off a lot of those books in the next week or so. And if you made it this far, leave some type of circle or wheel or spinning top or something in the comments to let me know that you were here. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!